Hey guys, it's Anna and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be testing out a full face of Colourpop. What do you guys think of this look? I just uploaded a natural makeup tutorial and now we have bang! This. So if you guys want to see how I got this makeup look and you want to see my first impressions on a whole bunch of Colourpop makeup, go ahead and keep watching. Alright, so for the eye look today, I'm going to be grabbing this Yes Please palette, definitely one of their most popular palettes. This is like a full-on dupe for the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, which is just like, ugh, hello. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the shade Champs to start off with. I love this kind of shade so much because it really reminds me of the Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie shade, which is just like iconic. It goes with so many different makeup looks. And I'm going to be doing a cut crease today, so I'm just really blowing it out. And then just to start deepening up the look, I'm going to go ahead and grab the shade GNO. I'm going to be placing that right underneath that transition shade, super softly. So as you can see, I brought that pretty high up since we are going to be doing a cut crease. I really want that color to poke through. So the next color I'm going to grab is the shade French Kiss, which is this deep, warm brown. And I'm just going to start to slowly build this up, and I'm placing it right above my crease. So this is what we are working with at the moment. Very neat looking, I know. I'm going to go ahead and go back into the shade GNO, and with that, just apply this right over top just to try to blend out that brown a bit. So technology is amazing. Welcome to the life of a YouTuber. I was pressing record and I basically lost all of this footage. They just came out blank, all of the clips. So I started to cry and then I was like, no, you can't cry. You have to continue. Can't ruin the eye makeup. So I'm just gonna go over what I did. I'm so sorry, you guys. What can you do? So I believe I left off smoking out that dark brown color. So afterwards I took a small definer round brush and I picked up this shade right here, smoked it above that dark brown to blend it out, add a nice gradient effect. Then I cut the crease with concealer. Then I applied this shade right here. It wasn't pigmented at all, like whatsoever. It was pretty sad. So then I had to put down the NYX glitter primer, and then we have this outcome. So I just applied primer and foundation. So if I'm skipping any steps, it's because I don't have a Colourpop product in that particular category. So going right in with concealer, this is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I picked up the shade Light. I've heard so many good things about this concealer, so I'm very excited about it. Hopefully this shade works out. I've heard it oxidizes like crazy, so we will see about that. So let's see how this blends out. Ooh, so well actually. That is good coverage too, and it's super hydrating. It's a nice liquidy formula. It's not drying at all. That looks so good. Like, how airbrushed is that? All right, well, I can already say I'm loving this concealer so far. I don't know how it lasts throughout the day, of course, but oh my gosh, this is beautiful on the skin. All right, so I've just set the face and applied some contour, so now moving on to bronzer. This is their pressed powder bronzer in the shade California Dreaming. This just looks like peanut buttery goodness, and I am so excited. You guys know how much I'm obsessed with warm tone bronzers. Alright, so right off the bat, it's not like overly pigmented. There's not going to be like a huge deposit of product, at least like if you tap off the excess, which is what I always do. So far, really good. I'm honestly loving this shade. That is so pretty. Yeah, this is a very safe bronzer. It's not going to deposit a crap load of pigment onto your face, so you can really just build it up and put on however much you want. The formula is very smooth, super easy to blend, and they have so many shades as well. Like, I'm pretty sure they have shades for every skin tone, which is awesome. Are you guys seeing how airbrushed this bronzer looks? I'm absolutely obsessed with it so far. So moving on to blush, I actually have two different formulas to test out with you guys today. I have their Super Shock Cheek. This one is in the shade Drop of a Hat. I've swatched it already, as you can see. And then this one is in their pressed powder formula, and this one is in the shade To the 10. So I've actually heard that you can use these on your face when it's already set. It's like a cream to powder sort of weird formula. So I'm going to take this Duo Fiber Stippling brush, full of the blush. Hopefully this works out okay. I've never used this formula before, so we will see. Ooh. Has a really pretty pearlized finish. I don't know if this is the best brush. I'm gonna grab a different one. That's applying a bit better. It's a really pretty color actually. And I really love the glow that this one brings to the cheeks. Now I'm gonna try applying it with this sponge, see if that makes a difference at all. Oh wow, yep. So if you want ultra pigment, go in with the sponge, that'll give it to you. Oh geez. It's actually applying really nicely on top of powder. It's not picking up any of the foundation underneath. This is a bit pigmented for me though, so I'm gonna just kind of blend out the edges, or try to at least. Well, I definitely brought it down just a little bit too far just because I'm not used to working with that type of formula. It's definitely pigmented, so go in with caution, and I really like the glow that it adds to the cheeks. So next, going in with the powder blush, this one right here, and I'm thinking these colors will be similar enough to where they match decently. I can already tell you I'm liking the powder version way more just because I feel like it's so much easier to work with, and with this one I feel like it's easy to go overboard with too much pigment. Also, comparing the two sides, I feel like I like this side more just because for some reason this side tends to emphasize pores just a little bit. So just like the blush, I have two different highlighter formulas to test out. This one is their Super Shock Cheek in the shade Flexitarian, and this one is their pressed powder highlighter in the shade Kitty Kitty. So I'm going to start out with Flexitarian. I already know this is going to be like way too white for my skin tone. When I swatched it the other day, I was blown away by the pigment. So if you're fairer than me, I'm pretty sure this is just going to be incredible, but let's give it a go. So I'm just going to dab it on the high points of my face. Oh wow, that melts so beautifully into the skin because obviously this is not a regular powder formula, so it just really sinks in with the rest of your face makeup. You know, for some reason, I feel like I can still pull this color off. When I swatched it, it literally looked like icy silvery white. But on the face, I feel like it doesn't look so bad. Like it's definitely blinding, but because of how glossy and wet it looks, I feel like it's not a full-on like white icy stripe on the face. Like if it was a powder formula, I might have that problem. That is a winner. I need to pick up so many more shades in this formula because holy cow, that is stunning. And then for the other side, this one is in Kitty Kitty. Oh my gosh. Which one is more blinding? I feel like, yeah, this side is definitely more blinding for whatever reason, which is funny because when you swatch it, Flexitarian is definitely more blinding, but because it's more of a wet formula, it appears more natural looking on the skin, and this one is just full on like hello. So I'm just adding some down the middle of my nose, add a little bit to the cupid's bow, of course. Moving on to brows, I picked up their Brow Boss brow pencil. This one is in the shade light brown, so it has a really nice tiny applicator, and then this side has a spoolie. So I'm just gonna run this through my brows real quick. Honestly, I'm liking this formula so far. It's not overly creamy and it's not overly drying. It's just kind of like the perfect happy medium. It's not like crazy pigmented, but I kind of like that because then you won't like accidentally make any mistakes. Alright, so I'm liking it. Actually, like I have nothing bad to say about this product at all. I think it performed actually really nicely. Like I said, the formula is not too creamy, not too dry, super easy to work with. Holy crap, I am so proud of myself. I have never done a wing like this before in my life. You guys know I don't draw my wings out like crazy, but there's something about this look that is just so cool and like editorial. I just had to. So onto the lower lash line, going back into the palette. Look how dirty it is already, and I've used this once. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this shade right here, and then I'm gonna lightly start to tie this in over here to kind of match up with this whole wing effect we have going on. Now that I have that down and winged out, I'm taking the dark brown in the palette, and with this straight little brush, I'm gonna go ahead and apply this pretty close to the lower lash line. And then I'm also going to stick this in this corner here and try to meet it up with that wing. And then for an even funkier touch, I'm going to be grabbing this Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Fast Lane. This is such a beautiful, deep, deep teal. I'm living. This is so cool. This is making my little makeup heart so happy. So I've just applied mascara and lashes, as you can see. I honestly love that liner. It's so pigmented, so creamy, just glides really nicely onto the eyes, doesn't tug at all. So now we're gonna go ahead and highlight the brow bone and the inner corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the shade Spoiled. And I will say this palette is amazing, you guys. These shadows perform so pigmented and buttery, so easy to blend, literally just like a high-end formula. The only shade that I wasn't impressed with is my all over orangey yellow lid shade, just because that had no pigment whatsoever. I had to use literally a glitter glue to make anything show up. But other than that shade, all of these are phenomenal. And the last Colourpop product I have here is their Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Echo Park. I already know I love this formula. Oh, look at that. That's like basically my lip color. So this is the finished makeup look. I think it turned out so cool and different. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Honestly, there was not one product that I used today that I disliked. I'm so impressed with Colourpop, but the first Super Shock Cheek Blush, I didn't dislike it, but it's just like not my like personal favorite blush formula. So that is all for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this one a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you want to, of course, if you want to see me in any more videos. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!